All right, we've got 5 of our Bloomington City Council members present. I will call this listening session of the City Council to order. It's Monday, August 3rd. Welcome to everybody. We will get started. We'll give Deb, have you showed up? Deb Harper? All right, then we'll go with Dr. Gretchen Buchanan. Good evening, Doctor, and welcome.
Good evening. I wanted to ask council if it was possible to, I had initially signed up for this slot a while ago, and I'm coaching my daughter's soccer for BAA, and we have a mandatory parent meeting from 7 to 7:30. So I have to be on Zoom for that. I don't know if I would be able to speak during that 2-minute time for the council. So I was hoping that I would be able to still talk about the 9 Mile Creek topic.
I just want to make sure we're fair with everybody. And I know that we told a number of people, they called and said, well, can we just come to this council session, listening session, and speak about it? And we told them no. And I just wanted to make sure that we're fair to everyone, that we did direct everybody downstairs. I know you do have a 2-minute slot downstairs, and I'm sorry. But it's, if you could put it in writing and submit it for us, we could take it in that way. But I want to make sure it's equal and fair for everybody who's involved here.
Okay, I'll hopefully be able to speak downstairs. Either way, I will send my 5-minute speech to everyone.
Okay, thank you. Thank you much.
And I love oaks and I love savannas.
Thank you much. Ali Saad. All right, Mr. DiConcini. And just like that, we're way ahead of schedule. So.
Love it. Not sure I need this because I'm pretty loud, but
it's for everybody in the room, but for everybody on the recording as well. So dive right in. All right. Good evening. Welcome.
Council, thank you for giving me the opportunity. I'm Chris from Gas for Less right down the street. Anybody bought gas there? Anybody go back here? My manager has been there for 30 years. Okay. I'm getting to the point, I'm a CPA where I'd like to retire and sell the station. I obviously can't. I'm not here to argue the provision. I'm not here to argue the sunset. It's simply the wording. The other gentleman back there sitting next to Joe is my son, Jack. And we are both CPAs and he's working for me and I'd like to be able to transfer it to him. So technically, and I'd like the council to receive this, did I give these to you? And I got 7 of them there. So if you can make sure they get distributed to the council members that aren't here, I'd appreciate it. So I'm not here to argue about the tobacco and how that works. I'm just here to argue about between the provisions 1 and 2. It talks about a sole proprietorship. You can transfer and be part of the family structure, right?
Okay. Yep.
That is not in number 2. And that's simply what I want to do is somehow merge the 2. I was under the understanding, but Matt Brillhart just told me that there are 2 owners that are sole proprietors in the city of Bloomington. Now, I understand I'm a CPA. I'm a single member LLC. I'm 100% owner, which technically is a sole proprietor. Okay. By legal definition, I am a sole proprietor, but for tax purposes, I file as an S corp. So it really doesn't, I'm not sure where I fall into. And a good friend of mine is a city manager in Perham, Minnesota, where I live. Perham and Detroit Lakes is where I work out of. Good friend of mine, John Smith, that really is his name, John Smith. He said, you know what, go talk to the council. He said a lot of times people get attorneys and do things. Go talk to the council. This seems like a pretty simple matter that hopefully that they can resolve. So that's why I'm here to ask you to respectfully look at that and consider my situation. I want to give Joe 49% of the business and my son the other 51%. So he's been monitoring the store for the last 30 years, okay? The tobacco will not change, nothing changes. I just got new tanks, I got new pumps, I have E85, I have E88, I have new concrete, Gas for Less, and I know I've talked to traffic, likes me to be there because they need me. And I'm cheaper gas. It's the same gas that you get at Quick Trip or Holiday. But it just seems like I don't think the intent of the council when they created this to be anti-small business. And it seems like long-term, as it kind of plays out, it appears to be that way. So I'm just asking you respectfully to look at that, consider my situation, and let me know what my options are.
Well, thank you for bringing that forward. To be honest, it's been a couple of years since I've even thought about this, since we passed this, and I see our city attorney writing furiously here. So why don't we, you bring up a good point, and I think we can come to a solution here, I'm sure of that. But I appreciate your coming to us and having the conversation and tell John he was right. I mean, this is the way to do it as opposed to hiring an attorney. It's
Okay, thank you so
all right.
much.
Thank you.
If I ask a quick question.
Yes,
sir?
please.
Thank
Councilmember
you.
D'Alessandro.
Hi, thanks for being here. So just to make sure that I'm clear, you operate you are registered as a sole proprietorship in terms of your EIN, but you file your taxes as an S corp. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. I did the same thing when I owned my consulting company. So I understand
Yep.
where you're coming from.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yep.
Appreciate the clarification.
Very good. Thank you, Chris. If we can get you to sign in, Chris, so we officially have you on record. And slide over to the side there. And Karen Lundquist. Karen, are you here? Paul Montgomery. Oh, we're just zipping right through here. Sally, you're up. Good evening. Welcome.
From Bloomington Park System Master Plan, page 19, it states, quote, "Lighting gets challenging when there is less daylight," end quote. And yet the city did not renew the shared agreement for the lighted Smith Park football field, soccer field on Darlford property. That does not make sense. Recall staff stated they have seen enough decline in the use of the fields for the youth sports on that site. Knowing lighting gets challenging when there is less daylight, stating there is a decline on a lighted field makes no sense. This is an example of how fraud happens. When inaccurate information is provided and what was provided about the Smith Park field is inaccurate. Thank you.
Thank you much. We'll double back one more time and then we'll open it up to everybody if we could. Deb Harper, last call for Deb. Ali Saad. Ali. There he is. Good evening. If we could, I think you just walked in. If you could make sure you introduce yourself as you start. Talk right into the microphone so everybody can hear you. And then as you finish up, we'll have you sign in. If you could have a seat and you have 5 minutes. We can have a conversation here. Go ahead.
Sounds good. Thanks for giving me the opportunity to speak up.
Right up in there. There you go.
Better? All right. My name is Ali Zad. I'm the owner of the gas station and the smoke shop at 9200 Old Cedar Avenue South. The reason why I want to talk a little bit, I know this is subject that's need a lot of time. So I know 5 minutes is not going to be good enough because of the rules and regulation that we had. We facing a lot of problem with the ordinance that you guys passed 4 or 5 years ago. Part of it selling our business. We can't sell it to anybody else. Even if a family member, like my brother, I can't sell him the business, which is going to make our business like worth nothing while we're working for it for years, trying to establish that. And the other part is losing a lot of our business came to other city. Because first, when you guys issue the ordinance, you guys promised us like when the marijuana license comes up, we'll replace part of the income from that. And day like today, I mean, we don't have nothing like that. And even those they carry like flavor, for example, they sell like lemonade, watermelon, Same thing with the liquor store. All that we're asking for just to adopt the same thing that Minneapolis did, St. Paul did, just exempt just the smoke shop from that flavor ban because it does actually affect us. We're losing most of our business going to across the river to the city nearby, the taxes going to the city nearby. because people that they come for menthol cigarette, for example, they're gonna cross the river and they're gonna get it. And it's not just that, it's the basket that comes with it, because we don't make money from cigarette or from flavor. It's, they're gonna stop and they're gonna buy gas, they're gonna buy. So all that we're asking for, just to look back at the smoke shop ordinance, so we know how we're gonna adjust to replace our income. Particular liquor store, they can sell flavor because 90% of they sell it's alcohol. And same thing with the age is 21, and the city they send every year, and we never failed with that either. So I would like to know if there is a way we can actually, particularly with the license too, just so we know if we will be able to sell our business or not. I have been contacting a city member here and trying to sell the business for my brother, and just one thing after another, just because of the ordinance that was written. I can't sell it to anybody else. I mean, it's worth a lot of money, but it's worth nothing if I don't sell it to a family member. And we just hope that you guys can look at those ordinances again and see and compare it to the other city, what they did, like St. Paul, Minneapolis, and talk to us about it again and let us if there's something we can do for it. Because we're willing to work anything just so we can figure this out too. I really appreciate your time, and
I appreciate you coming forward, and you missed it. You're the second speaker tonight actually on this topic. So it's a conversation that, as I said earlier, this has been a few years now since we brought this up, and to hear some of the feedback about how it's going, we'll take the council's temperature here to see whether if we want to consider pieces of this or how we want to look at this again. But I appreciate you coming forward.
I really appreciate it. Just one more thing. I mean, they put like you can sell it to a family member, but they put you can sell it to your wife or to your son. My son is 15 and I have an ex. I don't have a wife.
Yeah, and don't sell it to the 15-year-old. We don't want that either. So it's
No, and I need to get rid of the business to my brother, which is
understood.
family member right there too. So it's like I don't know what difference this is making.
Yep,
too, so.
understood. Thank you.
Okay.
Council, any questions? Quick questions? Very good. Very good. Thank you. Thanks for coming forward. Can we get you to sign in, Mr. Saad? Can we get you to sign in, please? Thank you very much. Let's see if there's anybody on our list who has showed up. Karen Lundquist? No Karen. Paul Montgomery? All right, with that, we have time for probably about 3 speakers. If folks are interested in speaking, you just come on forward, of course, with the caveat that we're saving all the special stuff about 9 Mile Creek for a little bit later. So if anyone has anything to bring forward, you're welcome to come forward now. Please. And if you could identify yourself.
Mohammed from Oxford Tobacco in Bloomington. We have business since 2000.
All right, are you the brother?
No.
No? Oh, okay. No, okay. Okay.
Yeah, same thing. We have this business, and since they allow now the THC and the dispensaries open in Bloomington, everywhere they are opening, and all what they sell also is flavor, and I don't think it's safer than the e-cigarette. Like they have flavor THC, disposable, and flower, and blunt. So they can sell that, but when it's come for tobacco, we cannot do that. So this is like, what is the difference? And it's like, it's different than when they ban it, because like the market now is different with the dispensary, and they have more than one in Bloomington. So, and like the hemp, most of the hemp they sell is flavor, and they can sell it. And for us, what is the future, you know?
Yeah. Understood.
We need to take in consideration. Plus, like we get customer, like mostly out of state, because we're close to Mall of America, and they always ask for flavor and something. So we need to see, since they have the exemption, like we have the exemption in the price, like we are cheaper than any gas station. If they do the exemption, like for the flavor, And for the approved FDA flavor, that will be helping our business.
Okay. Thank you. I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
Appreciate your input. Council, any questions here? Councilmember D'Alessandro.
Thank you. Just a quick clarification. Thanks for being here. You mentioned you are suggesting that there are certain FDA approved flavors for THC or for tobacco that you are suggesting we consider?
For tobacco.
For tobacco. So FDA approved. I didn't know that was a thing. Okay, so we probably need,
Especially like for the Marlboro and for cigarette company, they will be approved. And also nationwide, they will approve in like 16, from Trump will approve 16 company to be selling.
okay,
flavor.
understood.
So if something approved by FDA, and since the market everywhere is dispensary, and all they sell is flavor, why tobacco store shouldn't be the same?
I understand. And so
And no license for tobacco store anyway, so.
that was going to be my second question, the clarification, I guess, if we choose to revisit this as a council, if you own a dispensary license, can you also own a tobacco license, or can we come up with some combination of licensing in that particular scenario? It's just something to put on the table, I guess.
No, a good question.
Yeah,
A good question.
I appreciate the clarification. Thank you.
I'm sorry, once again, could you give me your name once again, just so I make
My
it?
name Mohammed Al-Hataba,
Akandaba. Thank you.
Oxborough Tobacco.
Thank you. Thank you much. I appreciate you being here tonight. If you could sign in, please, would it be great? Anyone else wishing to speak tonight? Last call. Oh, if you'd like to, please come on forward. So just to let you know, this is voice recorded, but you just don't want okay, understood. You're cool with it? Okay.
We just have community members who record the videos and then put them on Facebook groups where people aren't allowed to comment. And I'd just rather
Okay.
not.
Please, if you could introduce yourself for the record, and
Sure.
off you go.
Hi, everyone. I'm Jamie Anthony. I live in Councilmember Rivas's District 4. A couple of months ago, I came with some questions about how the Bloomington Police Department interacts with the federal agents who are in our town enforcing immigration policy. And we had a good conversation where you informed me about the secure communities process, where when a person is fingerprinted, there's an automatic notification that is sent to the federal agency, and whether or not BPD chooses to host the handoff of a person or chooses to release them and then allow ICE to do the handoff in the parking lot. So since then, there's been 2 more arrests in Bloomington that did not involve fingerprinting, where ICE was then called and the people were detained and are now under federal, well, actually, they're not under federal detainment anymore because they filed petitions for of habeas corpus, and so they're now released. So my question, I guess, I'm coming back with the same question, which is, what can I do as a resident to thoughtfully and intentionally get some concrete answers? I don't feel like 5 minutes once every 2 months is really going to move the conversation forward. So who can I talk to learn more about the processes?
Well, first of all, I hadn't heard about these 2 additional arrests that you brought forward. I'd have to get details from the chief and the police department to see any details or specifics on that. I think if you have specific concerns, I mean, I'd be happy to sit down with you. I'm sure as city manager, we could have that conversation and provide what we're able to provide regarding police department practices and procedures and best practices and procedures as well to see exactly what that might be and help you understand them a little bit better. Understanding your concern with what is going on, and I don't know the details on it, and to be able to share that as well and see if we can't get some more concrete answers and more clarity as to what you're looking to understand more.
Sure, thank you.
Okay,
Okay,
yeah.
so contacting the 2 of you directly instead of
Contact
using.
them, please. Yep.
Excellent. And just for folks who in the room who were not at that previous conversation, my concern is that the city of Bloomington issued statements about what we would and would not do in terms of collaboration, and the behaviors that are documented by both the BPD and the federal ICE agents do not align with the values that are stated. So that's what I am interested in is
Understood.
where's the disconnect?
Understood. All right.
Great,
Great.
thanks.
Thank you. Anyone else? Anyone else wishing to speak? Going once? Going twice? Council, no one coming forward. I'd entertain a motion to adjourn and head downstairs. Motion by Councilmember Rivas, second by Councilmember Robertson to adjourn our listening session this evening. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Opposed, motion carries 6-0. We'll head on downstairs. Thanks all for being here tonight.